Hello friends and welcome back to the freaking channel. Today we are going to be doing like a 2024 recap, year in review, year in reflection type of video. And I've never done like an explicit year in review video before, but I thought it'd be really fun to do because in my heart, I know I did a lot of things, but because I'm experiencing burnout right now, in my brain, it keeps telling me that I didn't do shit. So I think it's really important to like really look at the numbers and really look at the data to know where you've been in order to help me efficiently get to where I want to go in 2025. And I got like a lot of places I want to go. So here we are doing this little recap. Also, if you don't know who I am, hi, hello, I'm Julianne, and I'm an artist. I've been running a small stationery/art business since 2020, and I've also traveled around to conventions to do Artist Alley, and I've been doing that full time since 2022. But this has been like a long time coming for me. Like in 2019, I think I made my first ever sale of like a random art piece that I sold on my college campus's Facebook market page. And that was like the first like little light bulb where it made me realize that, hey, I might be able to do this for a living. And my art was like so poo-poo at the time, so it was like truly all delusional. But you know, delusion has taken me far because like here I am in 2024 and I objectively, now that I've looked at my numbers, have had like the best year I've ever had in terms of like business and like growth as an artist. And this is honestly the first year where I felt like I didn't have like a huge identity crisis as an artist. I feel like very secure in the fact that I am an artist. I know what my art wants to look like and I know the direction that I want my business to go into, which is like all great and dandy, but also like I had several other kinds of crises of the mind that weren't identity focused. But like objectively, it's been a great year. So I think it's gonna be so much fun to like sit down and review this year with you guys because like genuinely, in actuality, scientifically, I could not be doing this without you guys. Like in this video, we're gonna go through growth online, my convention experiences and where I think conventions are going, my online business, and just all of that really cannot exist without you guys. So right off the bat, I'm just gonna thank you. I'm gonna continue thanking you guys throughout this video, but yeah, I am just like eternally grateful to all of you and I will be working so hard to never let you guys down. But anyways, if I keep talking about this, I'm gonna cry. So let's just like move on and we're gonna start off with YouTube growth. So this was like my first year like really dedicating myself to YouTube. Like I've been sporadically posting on YouTube since 2019. I used to be like really bullet journal focused and at like the height of my consistency there, I would post like once a month, but I was only able to do that for a year and then I completely fell off and then I just didn't want to do anything. But this was the first year I was like consistently posting every single week and I was posting mostly vlogs and it really kicked my butt, but I just like really love the process so much. But anyways, I've learned that it's really hard to post every single week, but I've also learned that it's so annoying how they say like consistency is the key to growth because it really is. Like I was really hoping that it wasn't so I wouldn't have to be so consistent all the time. But anyway, in 2023, I posted 15 videos and I gained 9,232 subscribers, which is, I think is a pretty good amount for 15 videos. But in 2024, I posted 40 long form videos, 8 shorts, and I gained 23,400 subscribers. Which is so insane to think about, like 23,000 people. Like I will never know that many people in real life. I barely know 8 people and that's crazy because I come from a family of 6. So in posting more videos, I did see that I gained more followers, but the rate at which I gained followers did not really change. Like if you break it down like subscriber per video, it's about the same year to year. Like for me at least. Of course, we see people on YouTube all the time where they consistently post videos and out of nowhere they just like skyrocket growth, right? And I know a lot of people are like fiending for that. And at one point I used to be fiending for that, but I have really come to appreciate my slower growth because again, like this community is so dope. So yeah, again, thank you so much for providing this like nice little cozy, comfy corner of the very scary internet. So that's growth. But this is also like the first year I made like some like actual cash from YouTube. Like I've been part of like the YouTube partner program for a while now, but I was just getting like pennies, dude. I was getting like at most like 20 bucks a year. Like last year was the first time I saw like, ooh, like I definitely can't live off of this. I like not even close, but this is like a nice chunk of cash to have. So in 2023, I made $3,359.44 from AdSense, which is like a helpful chunk of change. I really appreciate it. But this year in 2024, I made $13,000.90. I don't know why I can't read this right now. $13,096.93, which is crazy. Again, I can't live off of that, but that is a very nice chunk of change, you know? That is like a very, very good convention to go to. So when comparing 2023 and 2024, I was making more per video in 2024 than I was in 2023. But that's AdSense. This is the first year I've ever like been sponsored and gotten like a cash money for it. Which is so crazy. I cannot believe anyone is out here paying me to talk about anything. And for me, because like YouTube isn't the way I make money, I only took sponsorships that I really believed in. And so I got to work with a lot of really great companies this year. And of course, I can't disclose like exactly how much I made with each sponsorship, but in total, I think I made $10,000 to $12,000 this year. So on YouTube, I made $23,000 to $25,000 this year, which again, I cannot live in the state of California on that kind of salary, but it is a very significant chunk of change. So once we take the tax component out of it, I think like 70% of 23,000 is like $16,000. $16,000 is enough money for me to like cushion myself for when I like burn out, because when we talk about the online shop, we're going to talk about how I burned out several times this year, where I kind of just like didn't put any focus into the shop. And so there was a huge dip in my revenue online. And with conventions being so inconsistent, I am never guaranteed like an income from that either. So having that $16,000 cushion is super duper nice. And it kind of goes to show like a lesson in diversifying your income, especially as an artist. And that doesn't always mean YouTube, because like, I don't think I would recommend YouTube to everyone. Not that I'm like trying to gatekeep or anything. Obviously, I can't gatekeep YouTube, but it's just like not for everyone. Not everyone wants to be on camera. Not everyone wants to make their life so public, but you can diversify your income as an artist in so many other ways. I can do a video on that another time if you guys want. Please let me know. But anyways, that is YouTube. Let us move on to Instagram, because Instagram was an interesting one this year. When it comes to Instagram, I feel like I kind of fell off this year, but I also did well. And that sounds stupid, but it's because I have two different accounts. So on Instagram, there's a Julianne Doodles account, and then there's also Peppercut Studio, which is my business, my baby, my little sprout world. And I've done this to basically allow myself a little bit more creative freedom when it comes to Julianne Doodles, where I can explore different types of art and to just like document my process and my journey as an artist. And for Peppercut, it is supposed to be like a well-established brand, especially with my new world of the sprouts. I'm really trying to like establish these characters and try to get more eyes on these characters and build out their world. So even though there is a lot of creative freedom with these characters, everything about this brand is focused on them. And so if I want to do something different, I can just do it on Julianne Doodles. And also, I don't expect to be doing Julianne Doodles for like a really long time. Like, I don't expect to be doing this forever. But I definitely hope that Peppercut Studio outlasts Julianne Doodles, because I'm going to need to make an income until I'm 65 and able to retire. So hopefully Peppercut can make it that far. So when it comes to growth for Julianne Doodles, because I basically just like gave up on it and didn't post anything at all. All of my posts were just like collaboration posts with Peppercut Studio. I only grew like 1,000 followers from 42,000 to now 43.5 thousand. And that's just like numbers wise. I know like 1,000 people supporting you is a lot. I understand that. Just in terms of like analytics, it's not much. But when it comes to Peppercut, we saw quite a bit of growth, because that's where I really put all of my energy. So for Peppercut Studio, I started the year off at around 7,000 followers. And right now we're sitting at 27.9 thousand, which is quite a bit of growth. And I'm very proud of that. But I feel like we could have done better, because I fell off around like August. I just stopped posting reels, which was what caused all the growth. So in the beginning of the year, I went really ham into doing like packing reels, unboxing reels, and things like that. My strategy for this year was really to just like promote my product and to show as many people my product as possible. And it really worked out, because not only did we grow, but I saw a lot of sales come from Instagram directly from these reels as well, which is a great thing. So yeah, knowing that that worked really well, I'm going to be doing a lot more of that in 2025 as well for Peppercut. But because I am trying to like establish like this world for my own original characters, I'm also going to be including a lot more like animation and just like art revolving around these characters rather than just my products. I don't know if this will be like great for growth, but I think it'll be great for brand identity and to establish these characters that I love so freaking much. And for Julianne Doodles, I think I'm just gonna like be more creatively free on that, just like post more about me. And I don't know if anyone wants to know about that, but it'll be fun to do like mini vlogs on there because I enjoy doing this kind of vlogging so much. And just like exploring other types of art because I'm like interested in like watercolor or like ceramics. And I don't necessarily want to make money off of that. I just want to like try it out. And so, yeah, I don't really care if Julienne Doodles grows, but I hope Peppercut does. But anyways, that wraps up this portion of the video, and we're gonna move on to talking about conventions. So I started my convention journey technically in 2021, at the very end of 2021. I did my very first convention at New York Comic Con, and I just fell in love and have been so very blessed ever since to do it mostly full time. It's just so very cool to get to travel the country and then meet all these amazing people who love your art and then you love their energy, and it's just such a great time. Of course, there are some ups and downs to it as well. I've had some weird experiences happen to me.
I got punched in the face by a homeless man. Officially lost all of my inventory in transit.
But overall, just an incredible, great, positive, heartwarming experience that I am just so very privileged to get to experience. But from my 2 years of doing this full time and then talking to a lot of friends who have been doing this for like 8 to 10 years, I feel like there's been like a very interesting shift in Artist Alley lately. And I think the dynamic and the economy of Artist Alley next year will be very, very different. But let's discuss that after we compare my 2023 year with my 2024 year. So in 2023, I went to 20 different cons and 3 different local events, and also I had 1 event proxied. But in 2024, I only did 11 conventions. I did 3 local markets, and I had how many? I had 4 proxied events. And what's really interesting is that if you look at the numbers, I did almost exactly the same with half the amount of events this year. And I feel like there are a few contributing factors to that. But yeah, I was like traveling around with this like cute, tiny little setup, just trying as many events as I could. And in 2023, I was basically still doing that. I was just trying to collect as much information as I could, knowing what conventions are good for me mentally, physically, but also financially. So I was quite experimental. But in 2024, even though I haven't gone to like every convention out there, there are still a bunch of conventions that I would like to try out. I did make a concerted effort to only go to conventions that I knew were going to be like, 1, either really good for my heart and soul, or 2, really good financially for me. So most of what I did in 2024 were conventions that I've done before. I did do ones that were new to me, but I was like very, very lucky that all the new ones that I did were generally cons that had a very, very good reputation. So like I did MegaCon, KatsuCon, Anime Expo, obviously. Personally, for me, I think going to like 20 cons a year, even though it's a blessing to be able to get into that many, I just can't do that physically. It's really, really bad for my physical and mental health. I got sick like so much in 2023, and I was incredibly burnt out. So I do like the idea of only doing like 10 to 12 cons a year. But with the state of cons, I don't really even feel like that's much of a choice anymore. So from 2023 to 2024, my convention table has improved quite a bit and my art has improved quite a bit. So in 2024, I've been offering more selection than ever, which definitely contributes to how much money I was making. Hello friends, sorry for quickly interrupting this video, but I just thought that I would add a small little disclaimer because I've noticed in the past that like more than any other topic I speak about, convention financial trends especially tends to be kind of like a touchy subject between both artists and attendees. And I am about to speak on some like trends I've noticed throughout the years and what I predict for the future. And these are just like my observations and my feelings. I could be completely wrong, and I would hate to make anyone feel weird about it. And so when I'm like speaking about like general trends and the general economics of like Artist Alley, I'm not speaking to like you, the individual. You know what I mean? Like I understand that everyone has their unique circumstances that explains their unique behavior. I'm just talking about like a general trend, and here are some general reasons that might explain these trends. I'm not trying to come from a place where it's like artists are entitled to attendees' money. But it's just that, you know, you're an artist, you go to a convention, you sell your art, and you make money. And here are some trends I've noticed throughout the years. I don't want to make attendees feel weird, like, we demand your money. It's just a thing that happens. When you're an artist, Allie, you're an artist, you make some money. And here are some trends. But yeah, just a quick little disclaimer. Let's get back to the video. So even though I did do less conventions and I made the same amount of money, I think in general, the state of conventions Artist Alley is on the down. And I think this is a really interesting topic because I don't think a lot of people realize that unless you've been in the alley for a while now. And I know that I'm generally kind of new, like I've only been in it for 2 years, but even within like the 2 years I've been doing it, I can see like a downward trajectory. And a lot of other artists who've been doing it longer than I have also expressed that as well. And there are a few contributing factors to that. So post-pandemic, cons saw like this really huge like spike in attendance, and also there was just like so much money in the economy for people to be spending. So people in Artist Alley were making more money than ever in like 2021, 2022. But since like post-pandemic high, things have been adjusting back down to normal. And so profits are going down because of that as well. Like people are just spending a little bit less money in Artist Alley. So not only is there like a correction back to where the Artist Alley economy was pre-pandemic, but also like the general economy is also going down. But a third factor is that because so many new artists got in like 2021, 2022 during the high, and we all thought like, wow, this is just like a huge money maker, it's an infinite money machine. Everyone like told all their friends, like I'm part of this too. Like we just spread the word that like Artist Alley is the thing to do, guys. So now there's like more artists than ever trying to look for that high, entering into conventions. And there are only so many conventions and so many tables. And so the demand is higher than ever and the supply is also lower than ever. And so as cons go back down to pre-pandemic levels, plus the economy is going down, plus more artists getting into conventions, there's going to be less artists getting into conventions and there's going to be less money circulating in the Artist Alley. And so I believe in 2025, cons are still going to be on the down. And I'm like not trying to like scare people from doing Artist Alley. I'm just trying to like be realistic and let you guys know what the state of it is. It's just what I believe. I might be completely wrong. But anyways, yeah, that's it. That's my year for conventions. Let's move on to my online shop. So when it comes to the online shop for Peppercut Studios, this is objectively the best year I've ever had. I'm just going to pop up some stats on the screen right now to compare 2023 to 2024. And as you can see, we had a ton of growth. In terms of total orders, we've had 2,300 orders this year, which is so crazy. And that is up by 69% since last year. However, in terms of gross sales, we are up 115%. And I think there are a few contributing factors to that. For one, we have introduced more expensive items. I really only introduced one new product this year, which is not great. I was hoping to have like 2 or 3, but one is fine. We'll be proud of that. And so that has caused an increase in revenue. But also compared to last year, I just have like double the amount of product I used to have. We introduced a ton of new sticker sheets. We introduced a ton of new die cuts. And so there's a lot more variety now. And with more variety means people are shopping around a little bit more. There's more items for different people. And so people are just adding more to their carts. Another really interesting stat that I think I should touch on, which I will put up here for you guys for visual reference. I think the total sales by social refer is really interesting. So it's all the sales I got through a direct link on YouTube or on Instagram. And on YouTube, we are up 158%, which makes a lot of sense because I've just like grown so much more on YouTube. So more people are discovering my channel and clicking on the link. And that has resulted in at least $4,600. I think people have discovered me through YouTube and are just going straight to my website rather than clicking on the link. But this is just tracking the link. And this is in comparison to last year where I made $1,800 through a direct YouTube link. On Instagram, we're up 119%. So that's compared this year where I made $3,100 compared to last year where I made $1,400. However, I do think some of this data is skewed. It shows that I'm getting more business from YouTube, but I actually think I'm getting more business from Instagram because when you look at my top referrers, like just through any link, it is through like my website Linktree thing on Instagram. It's juliannedoodles.com, and that's where I'm getting the most referrals by far. So I'm definitely thinking I'm making more money through Instagram, but Shopify is just having a hard time tracking that. When I think about last year to this year, I think the biggest difference for me was consistency. Last year, I think I only had like 2 to 3 shop updates. And this year, I had 4 shop updates, 2 sales, and then I introduced a new product. And even though I don't think I did a really great job preparing for all those updates, I do think I did a better job this year than I did last year. And I think that's made a real difference in terms of like preparing my audience for a shop update, knowing when it's going to be and like what kind of products are going to be introduced. That being said, like if you look at like my sales chart, you can see like there was a very obvious lull in the middle of the year where I was really going through it. And if you look at it, this lull in my online business due to burnout, you could see a physical change in me. Like I went from looking like this to looking like that. So I made my burnout and my crisis like very obvious to everyone. So another stat I guess we're gonna put on the screen is that I went to 2 different burnouts. One was more severe than the other, definitely. I feel like I'm in the less severe one right now. In the middle of the year, it was catastrophic. I feel like I was really just very unhappy. And I kind of had to do like a little reflection on myself because I was really just like so mad at myself for not like making the most of the moment I've been given. And I'm like so privileged to be in this moment in my life right now where my career is doing well. I just can't help but feel like I could be doing so much more with it. And I'm in constant fear that it's going to be like taken away from me and that I'll regret this time for not doing more with it. And at first I was thinking like, am I just being like really greedy? For someone who's like so anti like capitalist greed, I was like so surprised with myself. But like upon further reflection, it's not the fact that I think I could be making so much more money and all this stuff. It's the fact that I am so very aware of like how privileged and blessed I am to be given such an incredible community with you guys. Like the fact that like people watch my videos at all or like are interested enough in my art to like buy it. Oh my God. Okay. I can feel it coming and it's not gonna happen. I am just like so hyper aware, especially with the conventions and meeting people in person, and then like all the fabulous interactions that I have online with you guys. And what I've come to realize is that I am just like so in fear that I'm letting people down like all the time. Like that is where all my stress, that's where all my burnout comes from, is that I just feel like I'm constantly letting people down. I can just be doing so much more and I'm not doing it because I suck. And I know that's not true. I know it's like in here. So that's been like a really big realization of mine for burnout, is that I am really hard on myself about like how much I'm doing and that I never feel like I'm doing enough or I'm not enough. And I just don't want to let anyone down, you know? And I sometimes I see you guys like comment like, Julianne, you're really hard on yourself. And to be like completely honest, whenever I used to see those comments, I'd be like, you guys are tripping. Because I don't like hear thoughts in my head. I like say everything out loud. I just think like, oh, I'm just like being really honest. I'm just like expressing my thoughts out loud. Everyone has these thoughts. And I've recently learned that not everyone has these thoughts as often as I'm having them. So you guys were absolutely right. I have something going on up here. And I clearly need to get back into therapy, which is going to be something I'm going to be doing in 2025. I'm going to be back on my mental health therapy journey. I want to have an abundance mindset. I don't want to be in constant fear that everything's going to get taken away from me and I was spoiled and I didn't do the most with a community that I've been blessed and privileged with. And yeah, I just don't want to keep feeling like I'm constantly letting people down in 2025. That's a really big goal of mine. And this has nothing to do with you guys. Clearly, it's all me. Like 2024 was objectively such a great year for me. Like I just like don't necessarily feel that way right now because I'm burning out, but I know it was a great year for me. Like again, I know it in here, but not in here. Like this year I got to travel so much again with conventions. I'm so incredibly blessed to be able to do that for a living and get to see so much of the country and get to meet so many of you guys. Like it's just like so crazy to me. I also got to eat like a ton of really good food this year. I did a couple of like foodie vlogs. I know like that's not what most people want, but these are like some of my favorite vlogs that I did. I made art that I'm really proud of this year. Like I love my little sprouts so much and I can't wait to show you guys like what I have planned for them. Like building the world of the sprouts for some reason really feels like it's been like a group project between us. This was also my first year where I hired an assistant and I've been learning to delegate. So that's been a huge highlight for me and my business. I feel like a real businesswoman. Even though me and my minion are like friends, we just like went to the ballet together. I know we talked a lot about burnout and like the fact that I've been working a lot this year, but I did go on vacation this year. Like last year, I didn't go on vacations, okay? Like I went on cons and then I made them into vacations. Like this year, I took time off and I went to Portugal and it was like, oh my God, that country. Magical. The people, magical. The food, everything about it was so magical. And I'm really proud of myself for like taking the time off and planning a vacation for myself, which again is an incredible privilege only provided to me by you guys. I have also applied to 2 different European conventions, one of them being Dacomi and the other one being Japan Expo. And also, I think there's a good chunk of the community here from Germany and also from France. So I would love to meet some of you guys. And yeah, like after doing this like 2024 recap situation, I feel really optimistic about 2025. So I think I'm going to be making this like a yearly thing. I'm really excited for what's in store for next year. And again, I don't know how to express it correctly. I'm just like so bad with my words, but I am just so So grateful to everyone who's watching this video. Whether you're watching a video, you bought something from my shop, I cannot believe how much love and support there is out there. And I'll try my best to not let anyone down in 2025. And I'll try my best to also like fix that type of thinking. So again, thank you to the moon and back. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next year. Bye.